So hello and welcome back to Blake's Den on my 1993 Peugeot 306 XLD, and today it is going to get a new boot lid. So let's make a start. Why does it need new boot lid, you may say? Well, the car was very badly vandalised before I got it, and if you come around the back, there's currently no back window. And to replace the window, it's going to be quite expensive. Most of the rear end is just the window anyway. You could get a Perspex one to go in, like a rally style one, but you wouldn't have a heated element on it. So I thought it was easier just to replace the whole boot, and luckily I managed to find one in the right colour. So yeah, the boot still works and opens fine. It didn't open when I first got it, and I couldn't work out why. Just rained some glass on me. It was a bit of glass stuck in the mechanism, which meant it wouldn't retract. So I'm going to pop this off, and we'll have to swap the lock over and the wiper over as well. But it should be removing this should be fairly straightforward. Pop the rams off, pop the loom out, and then it looks like it's just, 4 bolts. So just whiz them off, loom out the other side, and then change it over. So how hard can it be? So this is the replacement one I've got. It's actually from a Slalom special edition from 1995. It's got a Slalom badge on it. It's one of those weird French special editions, so you get the boot spoiler you would have on the D-Turbo and the XS models, but you don't get a rear wiper, but there's a hole there for the rear wiper. So I'll fit the wiper for one I've got. This I may leave on, I may take off. When you actually look at it, it's probably hard to tell, but you'll see on the other side it's actually drilled through the glass. So if you take this off, you'll have holes in the glass which you'll then need to fill. So it might just be easier to just leave it on. But yeah, I'll get that old one off, and we'll make a start. So just looking at the new boot lid, that's the wiring grommet, and you've got a cable come through there, and you've also got the screen wash come through there. Now this is quite long, I don't know where that connects on the other end, so I'm going to have to find that. And likewise, you've got one on the other end as well with 3 wiring connectors and an earth. So I think I'm going to have to find the other end of them first and get that wiring off. So I already had this panel off, and I realised that it's just blue and a red connector here and an earth, which goes up here. So those are the ones I need to undo at that side. I whipped the same panel off on this side. We've got a brown and a yellow, which seem to go up that way. But the only thing I seem to be missing at the moment is that black one there, which is the rubber pipe for the wash wipe. Now, I'm assuming that when they took the one off the car, the scrap car, they just pulled and it's popped off somewhere inside of here. And I can't get into there at all at the moment. So I'm going to have to do a bit more digging, but I'm hoping somewhere around like here, there'll be like a little join where I can oh, it's all rusty there. That's not good. Oh, that is really rusty. We'll pretend we didn't see that. Hopefully there's a join somewhere around here where I can make the connection. And as if by magic, with that panel popped off, we have a joint here on the pipe. So I can separate that, he says, and then I think I just need to then unclip, and I'll probably attach a bit of string on and pull the string through, and then we can actually do the work. So with some string attached, I can now pull this through, just the plugs to come through now. Plugs. There we are. So that should make life much easier when I rewire it. And then same on the other side. So it's a case of pulling out the grommet, and then it's a bit tricky to get going, but particularly when you're doing it with one hand. And that's beginning to come through now. Yeah, I can kind of feed it through. So I'm going to do that with 2 hands. and I'll bring you back when it's off. Right, next job's going to be popping these rams off, which I'm hoping they just kind of prise off. I do have a broom handy, so the idea is that when those rams are off, the boot will shut and it'll be held on the broom. So let's see if I can get these off. Okay, so it turns out that's actually really easy. There's a little metal tab here, and you get a screwdriver in, pop that tab out. Well, pop that tab out, and then now I need to be careful here because the boot lid's going to shut because I've popped the other ram off. So if I use my head to prop that, I should just pull that now, and there we are. The rams are off and the boot lid is free. So let's get my broom into position. Right, so now we are ready to disconnect, and it looks like it's just these bolts here. If I pop them off, boot lid will come off, and we're away. Right, so these are 10mm, so let's whiz them off. One, I'm going to do them sort of opposite sides, if that makes sense. Two. Let's get the third one. Okay, that's loose now. And then the last one over here. That's just balanced. See, there's no weight in this because there's no glass, but if I get the broom out of the way. Ta-da! So, I can now think about fitting the new one, and I might oil the hinges while I'm on as well. So, I need to put this somewhere now. And as the Haynes manual says, refitting is the reversal of removal. So that's in now. It does its thing. I can't shut it properly because I need to sort out the wiring. Interestingly, I got one wire at this end, but I haven't got a yellow one. So I'm not sure what the yellow one's for on that side. I have a yellow and red one on that side. Now, this doesn't have a rear wash wipe. But I was going to fit it because it's got the hole for it. But does one of those yellow wires do the rear wash wipe? I'm not sure. One will do the locking, presumably, because the lock's in the boot. One will do the, well, I'd say the heated rear window, but it's got heated elements. It's got the wiring for that there. Unless that's an earth for it, I'm not sure. Could be the earth. And I'm not sure what the other one will be. So I'll have to consult the Haynes and find out. But I'll get this wiring pulled through and then we'll check to see that it shuts. Yeah, it shuts. And hopefully it opens. I think it's a little bit out of adjustment. To get it shut, I had to like properly slam it. I don't even know if, no, not even down. It was properly, no, that's all, wasn't it? Yeah, I think I need to just do a bit of tweaking here on the hinges. Not the hinges, the lock. You see, I had this lock out anyway when I was had the old boot lid on because yeah, I just couldn't get it to open, and it was turned out it was a bit of glass wedged in there from the breakage. So let me do a bit of fettling and we'll see if we can get this to shut a little bit better. It could also be the case it's not quite on the hinges right. In fact, you can probably tell it's not quite on the hinges right because of the witness marks there on that hinge. So let me try just tweaking it a little bit and we'll see if we can make it better. Can't quite get the boot to seal right, so I'm just popping off the lock mechanism or the catch. Just trying the other one. I don't know, just seems a bit different. I don't know, it's probably exactly the same, but I know that fits that, so we'll give that a go. Also, this one appears to be bodged up with some mechanics wire as well. I also need to change the lock as well, so yeah, let's get this out of the way and then we'll put that on and see if it works. Swapping that over worked fine. The only problem is I can't connect it up to the lock. I'll show you why, but if I shut it, there we are. But to open it, good hack to know if you ever have this problem is if you come around here, I'll sit you there, you can just see the little blue rod here. If you reach in and pull that blue rod, there you go, it opens up. So let's get the lock swapped. Swapping the lock is surprisingly simple. There's two little screws holding it in, and then the whole thing just pops out. With the screw loose, part of this, or the inner bit, should, well, the whole thing will just come out actually. There we are. And that's what we need. And there's a little bit more at the back as well. So I'll just pull that bit out. Here we are. So you can see how this one's been repaired in the past. So obviously it broke. Neat repair, clever repair. And that's how it should look. So there should be this little bit here, and that is what the release for the boot goes into. Also, as well, I've spotted no central locking on this boot lid. I've got the central locking actuator on my old one. Maybe that's what that fourth wire is for. Could well be. Yeah, it's some weird base model, no wiper but spoiler jobby. So yeah, anyway, I'll put this lock on. Also slightly different as well, that lock has a little lip on it. I can't remember my 306 XLD from back in the day having a lip on the boot to open it. I think it was just like that, so putting that back on is authentic. Yeah, I'll get this back together. It's quite fiddly, as I'll not show you yet, but put it in, put the screws in, jobbed. Right, back together now. Boot is locked. Which way unlocks it? That way? No, other way. There we are. And that opens up now. So I did try the old key on the, or the current key on the old lock, but it wasn't having it. But at least that works. Just buttoning all the wires back up. And I thought, oh yeah, I'll connect the yellow to the yellow and the red to the red. And I thought, oh, it won't go. It won't go. 3 grooves on there. And inside there, there's 2 grooves. And likewise, 2, well, 1 big groove there, and it's different on the other one. So it's definitely a mix of something on the wiring looms. Yeah, I mean, worst case scenario is I would just have to strip the loom out of the old glass, old boot completely, pull all that through again. That'll probably end up having to do, but that sounds like a job for another day. I need to move the central locking over anyway, and I need to tidy up. So I think I'm actually going to leave it as that for now. There's obviously a lot more work to do. The central locking needs moving over, the rear wiper needs installing, I need to swap the loom over, and also need to take the slalom badge off. But I think that's it for now. I think that's enough for one video. So I'm quite happy with how that's worked out, really. Colour match is pretty good as well. I mean, obviously the whole car's dirty, but saves having to paint it. So yeah, really pleased with that. I was just about to give up hope, and one came up on Gumtree of all places, being scrapped. So I thought, yep, I'll have that. So thank you for watching. If you liked this video, press that like button. If you have any comments or questions, drop them below. I respond to all of my comments and questions. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It costs you nothing. Just click that subscribe button and the bell notification, and you'll be notified of all my latest videos as soon as they land. So once again, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.